Hi everybody, it's Julie. Thanks for joining me today. I just need to say that this video is going to be a little bit longer. I just got my brace off my arm 2 days ago and my hands are a little shaky. I'm using the January Faith Art Box, which is called Beloved Woman, and it focuses on Proverbs 31. This kit is beautiful. There's a wonderful unboxing that Lindsay has done. I'll link that above and in the description box. And look at the stamp set. This hand stamp is really what has inspired me. And especially since the use of my hands has been and is still problematic for me. I'm using these colors and I'm going to be focusing on, oh, look at these bows. I'm going to be focusing on what I can do with my hands and what God purposes for me to do with my hands. This passage talks a lot about the Proverbs 31 woman and what she does with her hands. Now, this passage spans 2 pages for me, and so I'm going to focus here on the left side. I've gone ahead and fast forwarded, and I'm going to save the right page for another project for my next one. Like I said, this video, it's a little bit longer because I'm just a little unsure and a little fumbly and messy. So I just want to apologize. I'm taking this spray stamp. It's kind of a foliage, and I'm going to be using this color. This is cracked pistachio. It kind of matches, but not great, but it works. I'm stamping, this is Distress Oxide ink, and I'm stamping it onto some white cardstock. And there's some beautiful things that the team is doing with this particular stamp. It's a pretty versatile stamp. And you could do a border. I'm actually making, I don't know what to call this, but I'm stamping it in a square pattern. So I just turn a quarter turn each time. And you can see I just line it up. And because of the shape of it, it actually makes it into kind of a circle. I'm using my brayer to help me push it down because I can't get that grip with my arm. So it makes it into kind of a circle pattern, and I just think that's really cool. So I'm using a makeup brush now just to get a little shadowing of color, just a light coloring onto the page here. Now this works with Distress Oxide inks. It does not work with a lot of the other inks. It's a kind of it's a mixture between a pigment and a dye-based ink, so it works for that. So I've used a cap to a container to make a circle. If you have a circle punch that works, you could do that, or just any kind of circle that you can use. So I cut that out because it really kind of made the shape of that circle, and it was the right size. I'm using my blending tool to shade the outside, and I'm going to use the white cardstock, and I'm also going to put a little bit of color on this white doily. It's not really a doily. This is actually one of those drink things, the things you put under a drink. So it came in a pack, but it works. I thought it was great for that. So I'm cutting a little piece of cardstock because I'm going to stamp my the stamp that has the hands on it, and I'm making a little tag. I'm getting some color onto this here. Again, just a shading just with the brush there. I didn't want to get too much color. This is just a soft look, so I didn't want to use my blending tool for those colors. I just wanted to get a soft look. So I'm doing some tone on tone stamping here. I'm using the hand stamp in that same cracked pistachio color. Now here's my trick. I cut a diagonal corner off and then flip it over and hold it in place and then trim it, and then it gives me a tag up at the top. It gives it a perfect symmetrical top. So I'm going to set that aside, and now I'm going to use some of the Decor Stamps and stickers. This one says purpose, and that's really the focus of my whole page here. My one little word for this year is purpose. And honestly, this kit is what inspired that word. I've shared in some of my videos that about the car accident I was in last year, and it's been over a year now. And so my arm was injured, and so I've had to have surgery and rehab, and I've been in braces in my arm. So it's just been a process. So what I can do with my hands are limited, and so that's why I'm focusing here. I stamped previously when I was just playing around. I stamped that hand and then I cut it out, and I cut out the flowers so you can see. I watercolored it with some watercolor pencils, and then I cut it out. And I'm going to use that in the center of this spray here. I attached it with some double-sided foam tape just to make it pop up a little bit. And I'm going to use my, this is Faded Jeans, that color. And I'm just adding a little bit of edge to the tag and to the stickers. And now to the circle here. And I'm going to also do that to the, just add some color to my page here and then to the doily. Again, I'm using this brush and just getting some color on. I did, like I said, this video takes a longer time because it just takes me longer. I'm trying to speed it up so it doesn't take as long. I tried to edit out as much as I could, but I didn't want to take out any important parts to it. There's too much green. I need to get a combination of the colors here. So I'm adding some purple splatters, and you'll just see how I'm going to be working this. Now, the Proverbs 31 woman, this passage talks a lot about all the stuff she does with her hands, how she cooks, she cleans, she makes stuff. She just does all kinds of wonderful things with her hands. And, it can be kind of intimidating. And especially for me, I'm just not able to accomplish all that I want to. So I have to be purposeful. I have to really focus on what God wants me to accomplish rather than what everybody else and what I want to accomplish, because I just can't accomplish everything. We women tend to want to overachieve and control things. And so I've had to just let go of that control and allow God to just give me His purpose and His plan. So that's my word for the year. And I just really love the focus of this passage, and the focus of this devotional talks a lot about how the Proverbs 31 woman had to rise early in the morning so she could spend time with God, so that she could seek God's will for her day and seek God's purpose for her day. And that's the only way she can accomplish what He wants her to accomplish. And so that is my goal for this year, and that's certainly my prayer for me and my prayer for you. So I'm just adding some details to the page here to blend the colors, to get a balance of the colors between this sagey minty green and the blue and the purple that are all, I just love these colors that are in the kit. So what I stamped on the tag, it says His purpose, and now I'm going to use these little circle coin stickers for the alphas. And I'm going to say my hands. His purpose, my hands. So my hands are going to be determined, and what my hands do are going to be determined by His purpose. And, that's what it's about. I do have a blog post that I have linked in the description box, and it's over on the Creative Retreat. Oh, you can see where I messed up right there. I should have known. You can't use the adhesive runner on the back of a doily. It just rips it. So I've gotten out my Tombow glue, my liquid glue, and that's the best way to do it. So I'm sticking that down. I'm leaving the where it covers the text, I'm not putting glue there so that I can still lift that up and read the text underneath. Trimming off the edge of the doily, and I'll probably use that somewhere else. Well, I know I will. Just adding some detailing here and there. So yes, I have the blog posts attached, and it talks a lot about the process I've gone through and just how God has convicted me on purpose and what purpose is all about. A lot of the therapy I'm going through is painful, but it's pain with a purpose. And that's what growth is. It can be painful, but it's pain with a purpose. There's a purpose to the growth that we go through. There's a purpose to the things that God wants us to do. There's a purpose for the purpose is the growth of the kingdom, and we're a part of that. And everything we need to do, we need to reflect on its purpose and why we're doing it, and be purposeful in our actions, to be intentional and purposeful. So, excuse me. So I'm just adding some little stickers here and there. Down there in on the doily, on the circle, it says woman of virtue. And now I made a tag out of the devotional backing, and I stuck the word fetty that says purpose. I'm going to use the leftover of that doily to back that tag, and I'm sticking these down my hands. Now, I felt like those were kind of floating in midair, so I'm going to get some washi tape out and back those, and then put some washi tape up at the top to anchor the tag and to provide a place for the clippy. And it just, it's a good thing. It gives strength to the page. Otherwise, you can rip a lot. I end up adding a couple of other details here. I stamp the date. I'm outlining these things. Here's the washi tape that I'm adding. I do cut out where I just have to fuss with the stickers that say my hand. I have to move them a couple of times to make it work. So I do end up cutting out some of that just because it takes me a while. But so I'm just adding some of this washi tape. This is just some from my stash, black and white dots, because I didn't want it to overpower everything. There's some color on here already, and I didn't want to add more color. But the black and white dots, it's kind of translucent, but it just adds a little bit of color there. So this kit is just gorgeous. It's wonderful. It's a good theme for the beginning of the year. What is it that God wants us to do this year? What does He want us to accomplish? What is His purpose for us? So it came at just a wonderful time for me, and I pray that it'll be a blessing for you too. So I added some foam backing to the tag there, added my bow clippy up at the top. I do come in and add some black splatter paint. I add a couple of stickers afterwards. You can see them in the still shots. Just a couple of heart stickers, and also one of the floral stickers next to my hands, because I just felt like it needed something else there. So you'll see that in the shots. Oh, and I underlined the verses. I forgot to do that here. I'm going to save the space over on the right side. I'm going to add my journaling there. I've got a lot of space there, and I'm going to do that. So here's the page. Here are some close-up shots. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section. Be sure to check out the Faith Art Box. I've linked it. It's a great kit this month. Make sure to pick yours up. Check out the blog posts and see what the other gals on the team are doing. And make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much, everybody, and God bless. Have a happy New Year.